Hello, everyone. I'm Patty Ann Brown, and you are in the Strategy Room. President Obama urged Republican leaders Tuesday to withdraw their endorsements of Mr. Trump's candidacy, calling him unfit to serve. Donald Trump did not take this lying down. He appeared on the O'Reilly Factor last night to give his statement. Let's listen.
I think he's the worst president maybe in the history of our country. I think he's been a disaster. He's been weak. He's been ineffective. You look at this so-called recovery, it's setting record lows. It's, I guess, not since 1949 has there been anything like it. You look at home ownership. Look at what happened as an example. He talks about Ukraine. I believe I know far more about foreign policy than he knows.
Well, joining us now are Democratic strategist Douglas Smith and Republican strategist Charmaine Yoest. Welcome to both of you.
Thanks, Patty Ann.
So President Obama questioned whether Trump has basic knowledge on key issues. Douglas, what are your thoughts on the president's statement and Trump's response?
Well, I think first and foremost, Donald Trump's opinions are just so starkly inaccurate. When he was on Stephanopoulos this weekend and didn't even know that Russia had invaded Ukraine, I mean, it just speaks to his lack of awareness. I mean, the notions of the economy. When President Obama took office, we were losing 800,000 jobs a month. We have now seen, and at 10% unemployment, we have now seen 75 straight months of growth. We now see it at 5% and trending down. And what really, really scares me is Donald Trump's complete lack of knowledge of what is going on in this country and in world affairs. He continues to show it over and over and over again. And quite honestly, it's terrifying. I'm up in northern Michigan, and I was at the barbershop this morning getting a haircut where last summer everyone was for Donald Trump, and they were so excited. And today, what I was asked is he really a supporter of Putin and the great concern of his encouragement of Putin to get involved in our elections? I mean, the whole thing is just horrifying.
All right. President Obama also said that with past Republican nominees, including his former rivals, John McCain and Mitt Romney, he would have been disappointed if they had won, but he still would have supported them. But he says that's definitely not the case with Trump. Charmaine, did anyone really expect Obama to support Trump?
Well, isn't that the point exactly, Patty Ann? I mean, President Obama is going to be Hillary Clinton's #1 surrogate. We're moved into a point where he's functioning as a campaign surrogate, not the President of the United States. And so, you know, obviously that's an advantage for her that he has such a big bully pulpit. But you have to put it in the context of partisanship. And, of course, he's going to go after Donald Trump, and Donald Trump needs to come back and make the case for a regime change here. You know, Hillary Clinton is running for the third term of Barack Obama's presidency, and that's why the stakes for this election are so very, very high. Douglas is using he's cherry picking and putting out of context the data on what's actually going on in this country. You know, he cites unemployment numbers, but you need to look at labor force. No, I let you finish, Douglas. You need to stop filibustering. When you look at labor force participation rates, which are, well, you know what, and let's talk about the Supreme Court. That's one of the most important things on the line here in this election, and Donald Trump has been very clear that he will put in constitutionally conservative justices, and we've seen the kind of radical appointments that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton would put in, and that will determine the course of our future, you know, for the next generation. So,
also last night, Trump's daughter Ivanka sat down with Greta Van Susteren on the record and came to her father's defense. Let's listen.
What does this country needs? It needs jobs. He understands that. He understands how to create them because he has created them. He understands how to maintain them because he has maintained them. He understands how to put this country to work. So I think that makes him very qualified.
All right, Douglas, what do you make of that?
Well, I think she just needs to look at reality. I mean, just look at the Republicans' past nominee, Governor Romney. Governor Romney, who was a very successful businessman, has publicly called that Donald Trump will send us reeling back into a recession. I mean, just yesterday, Meg Whitman, an incredibly respected Republican business leader, a multi-billionaire Republican business leader who has led successful companies, came out and publicly endorsed Hillary Clinton out of her concerns on what Donald Trump did to the economy. Republican after Republican in leadership positions is talking about the disastrous effects. I'm not cherry-picking data. It's out there for everyone to see, from nonpartisan, congressional budget office, across the board. What he is talking about doing will be catastrophic to our national security and to our economy.
Charmaine, last thoughts here.
You know what? Ivanka Trump is a fantastic spokesperson for her father. And, you know, as we look at women voting, and the more that women get to hear from Ivanka Trump and hear her vouching for her father as a businessman, as an employer, as someone who knows how to create jobs, and who has promoted women and put them in positions of leadership unprecedented in his industry, I think this is going to be a message that is really going to resonate with women as they get to hear more of the record. We still do have 100 days left, and the data is really clear that people don't make up their minds until much, much closer to the election in November. In fact, the last 2 weeks are really the most important time. So there's still a runway in front of us with American women, and I think Ivanka Trump is going to be a fantastic spokesperson.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Douglas and Charmaine, thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty Ann.
And for complete coverage of the 2016 election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Patty Ann Brown. Thanks for watching.